cut it out of plywood or MDF, or I can 3D print it. So I'm going to have a go at 3D printing it and we'll see how it comes out. Okay then guys, so far I've got the Spitfire outline and I've sprayed it black, 3D printed in 3 separate parts so I can get it on my printer, glued together, sprayed black. So now I'm going to using my Bucks Composites resin to fill in, well, pour resin in every little gap. I don't know if I can do that, but we'll give it a go. Right, I'm going to mix it by ratio on weight. The reason it's different on weight compared to volume is that the density is different, so things have to be done slightly differently. I've done a little bit of research online, and the thing to have is what's called resin tape. What I plan to do is to put tape on the back. It's a fancy colour, isn't it? Put tape on the back and then put resin on the front. Okay, that is super sticky. Not a bad thing, I suppose. I'm going to lay this on and hopefully it'll be 3D printed. It's got a surface to it. Hopefully it'll be okay. Let's put some on there. And I've got a little rubber roller here to roll it down absolutely tight, as tight as you can get it. Right, next job, to turn it over, mix up loads of epoxy and pour it into each section without getting any on the face. Possibly easier said than done. I might have to sort of help it into the smaller areas. I've been waiting to do this for a couple of weeks, probably more, but I wanted to get this job done first. Okay, now what am I going to mix it in and how am I going to pour it? Little jugs here, I'm wondering if I can just sort of pour it from there. Don't know how controlled that'll be, but let's give it a go. Let's tear that. Right, so I've got Bucks Composites epoxy resin, Bucks Composites in the UK. And I'll mix it 2.5 to 1 because that's what you do. So 2.5, if I put in say 25 grams and harden it, so I want to put in, it would have been 10 grams, but I'll put in 11, something like that. 28, even 39 in a minute. 26, 39.02. I think that will do. Start with this one here. I think it might need to be weighed down actually because it's bowing in the middle, which is going to affect things somewhat. So yeah, I will. So far so good. Oh, look at that, dripped right on it then. It would, wouldn't it? I should have let it drip or waited, one of the two. Oh, it's cleaned off okay. Told that the tape will pull off of the epoxy very cleanly, so time will tell. I need a pointy stick here to get into the corners. And sit that on there to keep it down flat. Oops. Yep, sharpened stick is the way to go. I think I might have a leak under there. I think I can see it sort of slowly getting worse and worse. So I'm going to put that on there to try and sort of weigh it down. I should have had a bigger overlap on the tape, I think, because it's only a 2 or 3 millimeters, and I think it was enough. Right, let's tip a bit more in. Got quite a bit there. I'm going to tip it in the big part of the wing here. Okay guys, welcome back. I've tidied the bench a little bit, moved the wings. Now it's nice and dry, which is always a good sign. And I was going to move it up a bit, but I think it seeped through the join and stuck to the paper underneath. Not a problem. We may as well stay where it is for the minute. Doesn't look too bad on the face of it. So I've got some paints here. These are supposed to be glass paints, water-based glass paint. Stir well before used, dries glossy. Green. Right, I've got a colour chart here which I made for this very purpose, so I can see what's green and what isn't. So green, I'll start with this little square up here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to stir it. Shame to throw that away, isn't it? If I put it on there, I can use it as a little reservoir sort of thing. Never used this stuff before, but daughter and wife both have, so we'll see how we get on, but not on epoxy. Right, okay, I'm going to start up here. Ooh, that looks nice. A bit big actually, that brush. But I think I can easily wipe it off of the... That's quite nice, isn't it? I'll carry on with that a bit, I think. Put some in there. Because some of the epoxy is thicker than other bits. Some bits are quite high to the edge, some bits aren't, but I don't think the eye will pick that up, and even if it does it really matter? Not really. I just want it to look like a sort of a stained glass effect. That's all I'm after. I've seen guys, or ladies actually, on YouTube doing this with, if that would be better watered down. I've seen them doing it with laser cut. That's a bit big to go in there. Let's do this one. Laser cut instead of 3D printed. But I thought this would be a bit more less prone to warping if I do put it in the sunshine in the window. Which is the idea. I want the colours to shine through. Okay, it kind of like goes, it's probably just dry and sort of like sticky. What else we got? This big one here is green. The beauty of the fact that the resin dries clear means that I can leave these window bits just clear. I think they'll look okay. You see, I'm not the greatest painter, but it's good enough. It's cleaning off of the black really nicely actually, so I can afford to be a little bit less accurate with it. Whether that's because it's plastic and not wood or not, I don't know. It'd still have a painted finish, wouldn't it? A little bit up there in the corner. Right, okay, that's the green. The propeller is got yellow tips and the nose cone is white on mine, and all this is light blue. This is actually the underside of the wing looking up because the wing bends up, so you're looking at that. And I've got brown to go in, and I've got red, white and blue for the tail insignia. Oh, I've missed that little bit in there, look. Okay, let's pop the lid on there. It's a good start. That will do for the minute. I might give the brown another coat. I ended up using the copper, whatever it is. And the blue isn't quite blue, it's more grey, but it doesn't matter. It's all good. So we'll let that dry. We'll let that dry, and I'm dying to peel it off. Hopefully it peels off good. We'll find out. What I want to do is hold it up to the window, because that's going to be the test, isn't it? DB, Douglas Bader. There we go. Now, this should, in theory, just come off clean. This is well, just got to put it straight up to the window. Yeah, that's not too bad, is it? Oops. I'm happy with that. I don't think I want to give it any more paint, to be honest. Right, what I'm going to do now is put it back. I'm just going to tie a piece of string around there. And I've got those little sucky things, which I'm just going to suck on the window, and it can just hover there like that. So a piece of string, I'd call that a success, to be honest. Let's see, if I tie a little knot actually that goes over the aerial, like that. I'm going to get my little sucker and I'm going to mount that on the window, and I've got myself a stained glass Spitfire. I'm quite pleased with that. It was quite labour intensive, but yeah, I love it actually. It's come out really nice. Thanks for watching, guys. I better get on with some serious balsa building now, but this was just a little side project like you do.